Can we see?
If you can mute if you're not speaking, that would be helpful. It helps with the sound. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Fowler. I'm the principal of Bonsall High School, and as always, it's good to see everybody here for Ping. I see a few folks that I'm not sure that have been here before, so welcome. Today's meeting probably won't be the most informational or the longest, but I will be available to answer some questions kind of at the end if there's any questions anybody has. So let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, we're looking for parents to be part of a graduation committee. It is getting that time again where we need to start planning graduation. This year, that committee will meet via Zoom. We will first meeting will be the second week of March. I'm not sure if that will probably be on a Thursday, but that's not been confirmed yet. And we'll just meet for an hour or so to talk about kind of graduation. What are some things we can do for our kids in this kind of COVID world? We don't really know at this point for sure if we're going to be able to have a live in-person ceremony. And if we are, how much social distancing we're going to have to require. So we're really going to need to put together kind of a plan A, which is, some kind of drive up thing similar to what we did last year, with a digital component, and a plan B, which is something where we can do more of an in-person graduation with plenty of social distancing, and then a plan C would be a more traditional kind of graduation ceremony, which will have some social distancing, obviously, but still be able to accommodate as many people as we possibly can legally. There's a lot of unknowns still about what tier we're going to be in, what that means for graduation ceremonies. Last year, the county took the hard line that there was, no in-person ceremonies, although I know a couple of districts did go ahead and do that. But there are ways to do that and still do it safely. So we'll make sure that we have that coming up. So that will be probably, like I said, Thursday, the second week of March. But if you're interested, please go ahead and email me directly, and I'll send you the updated information as we get it. My email, and I know Todd can post this to the chat there, is jason.fowler@bonsallusd.com. So if you're interested in being part of the graduation committee, please let us know. Last night we had the valedictory circle meeting. I thought it was a lot of fun. Usually when we have our valedictory circle tea, it's kind of a nice ceremony that's kind of has its traditions in England. When the best and brightest of individual colleges would get invited to a tea, to an event where they would drink tea and have cookies and have kind of a social event, and we've been doing that for the last couple of years. But with COVID this year, we couldn't have an in-person ceremony, so we kind of delivered the cookies to the kids at their homes, took pictures of them there, and then we just kind of had the reveal of our list last night. That ceremony is in process, getting edited a little bit so that the kind of the long pieces at the beginning and some of the pauses throughout are being taken out. It'll be posted to our website hopefully by today. And there'll be a link to it probably sent out through the countdown to graduation thing that the counseling center does as well, and it'll probably also be on our Facebook page. So just letting you know that there will. So if you missed it, and you want to watch it. We had a lot of fun with it. I got to dress up a little bit. I did goofy, but I think the kids enjoyed it, and I think it's one of those things that we haven't really had a lot of chance this year to really celebrate the seniors and play together. So it was a nice opportunity to kind of let them have a little bit of fun, but at the same time get through some important business. So just by just to announce it formally to the parents, then our Our salutatorian is Jeffrey Roback. He has a 4.4054 with some numbers after it. And our valedictorian is Jay White with a 4.45445 and some numbers after it. So pretty high GPAs. Both of those kids and all the kids on the valedictory circle have worked extraordinarily hard to keep their GPA where it is. So just kind of letting you guys be aware, we have 22 kids on the valedictory circle. That's pretty typical. That's a number that's pretty similar to what we had last year and the year before. So the kids that have been working hard for all 4 years haven't really been slowed down a whole lot by COVID. There were a few surprises. A few people changed some spaces this year, and there's probably all kinds of reasons for that. Some kids challenge themselves with a little more AP courses. Some kids challenge themselves with a little more college. But it's a real strong list, and all these kids are going to go on and be very, very successful. We have an awards assembly next Friday morning that will be available to all the parents from I think we'll be putting it together from 8 to 9, but it'll be available for parents that day. And we're celebrating all of our kids that have earned honors credit. So anybody with a 3.0 and above for this last semester. We're also going to celebrate kids that have overcome big barriers. We're going to celebrate kids that have gone above and beyond and done special things for the school or for individuals, been caught doing great things. So that's coming up next Friday. We have a fundraiser coming out. It's been kind of sent out through the ASB link, and I think it's gone out a couple times through Aries from Ms. Rojas, but it will be in my Friday letter this evening as well. And that's our Project Adopt a Senior fundraiser. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that we're able to celebrate the class of 21 and give them a sort of a send-off that's similar to what other classes have gotten in the past. So while we can't, for instance, have a grad night and take them to Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm or Universal or Six Flags or what have you, we can offer some similar kind of events for them, separate beyond the after school when those things are safe to do so. But that's going to require a little bit of fundraising on our part. So our hope is that we're going to be able to get yard banners for everybody. We're going to be able to get some big banners celebrating the kid, have a picture of the kid and Bonsall High School that they can take with them, put in their apartments, put in their dorms when they go to college, that kind of stuff. Have something similar to like a prom, like a virtual prom experience with some musical downloads. We're going to get them some pennants so that they can celebrate their college. And we want to be able to get them like passes to an amusement park and maybe some things like that, so that they have those same experiences. They'll just have to plan them after COVID is up. So we're taking donations to help with that as much as we can. If every parent would give $30, we could do amazing things for these kids. So if you can't afford that, please go ahead and donate to the fundraiser, and there'll be a link to that in my Friday evening letter this weekend. The district is currently going around to the different teaching staffs, and they'll be planning some community meetings a little bit later on doing their LCAP. The LCAP is a local control accountability plan. So these are really the big items that parents, teachers, students, folks in the community see as being something that we need to do as a district to improve. So not really any format to share that right now, but now's the time to start thinking about that. So talk to your kids, like what would you like us to spend some money on? What would be some projects? What would be some programs? What would be some things that you as a family would think would benefit the community, you think would benefit the education of your children? And think about that at all levels, not just high school, but also also, kindergarten, pre-K all the way up. And what would be those things that you value the most? I mean, having comprehensive trauma, um, trauma services, counseling services from pre-K all the way up during this COVID era, as kids are going through a lot of crises, something like that might be good. Having a more inclusive engineering program that goes from second or third grade all the way up through the high school might be something that could be talked about. A program where kids are provided with opportunities for dual language immersion. That's something, stuff like that might be something that's worth looking into. The sky is really the limit here. So be aware that there's no bad idea. I mean, obviously there's going to be some need to focus on English scores, math scores, just academics in general. But there's also going to be, the opportunity to think more pie in the sky and really get into kind of the nuts and bolts of what do we want our, this next generation of students' education to look like. And we're kind of in that unique position now during this COVID era with all the distance learning and the way that schools have really been kind of conceived differently now to really begin making some of those changes. So to take advantage of this kind of unknown time to really build something better as we're able to return to more in-person stuff next year, the LCAP is a great opportunity to start those conversations. I think I got through all of my pieces, Todd. Is there anybody have any questions? Or
I think you're going to give a quick COVID update too.
Oh, I'm sorry, quick COVID update. So while certainly the COVID situation is something we're still keeping our eye on, we've seen a steady decrease in community-wide, and that's really kind of reflecting the kind of decrease in the county. Our morning COVID check form that goes out up through Christmas, there was always, just kind of giving you a baseline, there was always 4, 5, or 6 families that listed that there was something, that they were in contact with somebody at home, something like that. And it got so bad right before Christmas, obviously, that we had to close, and it was bad after Christmas, so we had to stay closed a little bit longer than we had expected. But really, since we've returned, we've seen a steady increase or a steady decrease in those numbers, down to, I think day before yesterday was the first day, really since we started doing the surveys, that we had 0 families listing some kind of contact at home. So we've seen a steady decrease down to 0, down to 1, 0, and kind of if those trends continue, I have good hope that we're going to be able to stay in person, hybrid, in the same situation that we're in now, through the end of the year. And if those things hold or continue to improve, then that certainly bears well for some of those end of the year events for our seniors and for the rest of the school staff, that we'll be able to access more of those things.
Great, thank you. Any other questions from any of the other parents? You can also put it in the chat if you don't want to speak on camera.
I just had a question. This is Kara. Is there okay, I have, maybe it's posted and I just missed it in reading. I'm sure it's there, but is there a link for the senior donations to be shared, that can be shared? Because I kind of like to put it out to my neighborhood who voted down the high school, but said, hey, if there's anything we can help you with, we'd be happy to do it. Sorry, that's the sarcasm's coming out, but I could do it out to maybe some people that might want to donate, that, and I don't know, maybe that's available and I just missed it, but that's my question.
We're working on getting some kind of like Venmo, one of those links, something like that. Right now that we don't have that available to us. The district had a system in place through Square, whatever the Square thing is, and there was a problem with that at the middle school, and so not wanting to use that right now.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure out kind of a mid road that makes that easy. But right now it's just either, have something dropped off, or there's an email or directly to the school, goes to 3SD, goes to with Miss Kara, and there's a whole process. We
You
are
cut
working
out
on,
there for a second. Can you just repeat what you just said? For some reason.
So the best way to do it right now is either to drop it off directly with the front office, or there's an address on there to send it to. We can take checks, we can take cash, we can take however that works. But like I said, right now we don't have a way to take credit cards, and we don't have a way to take money electronically.
Okay. Got it.
But you are working on that?
We're working on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So hopefully that's something. Yeah, there was an issue that I don't want to get into, but
Yeah.
there were some concerns. So
I think that's really important, because I know that will make a huge difference in people contributing. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could help you guys figure that out. I mean, I work with several payment processors, but I don't know if it has to be something that's established at the district level, or if the high school can do it on its own.
Yeah, the district has to sign off on it, and that's part
Okay.
of why we can just set up a PayPal or a Venmo, which would certainly be a lot easier, but
Right.
you have to approve. So there's a little bit of a process, but that's in play. It's moving. I hope.
And once it is in place, I can add it to the high school. You just let me know to the high school website when it's up, and I will get it on there, like at the same day, or as soon as I can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, but thank you. I'm sorry to go. I got to teach class, so online, out of my room. So thank you for the information, though. Great.
Yeah.
Nice
Okay.
to see all of you. Todd, if you wanted to kind of talk to people about I don't know if there's Liz isn't here or Jen isn't here to talk about the food thing on Thursday.
Yes, but she just texted me asking if I could mention the teacher luncheon, but unfortunately I don't have all the details. I think food is being ordered for the teachers, and that's being ordered from Z Cafe, and the teachers place their orders. And so I think we could still use some donations for that. So what I can do is, in the message that goes out with this video, I will put the link to the Perfect Potluck, where you can make a contribution to those lunches. So that would be great if anybody that's here that hasn't contributed to the teachers having a nice, appreciation. It's kind of a weird way of appreciating, but Jen came up with this kind of neat idea to have lunch served to them, bring it in, take out. And so that's happening from the Z Cafe, and that's happening on Thursday. Do you know the exact time? It's at 11, I believe.
I believe that to be true. I think it's at.
I think we'll get to see Maya soon.
I think it's exactly. So.
I'm sorry.
Right.
One more time.
I think the event is at noon, but the setup begins at 11.
Okay. Okay, great. And I'll put that in the message too. I know I have it somewhere. I just didn't have it written down in front of me for this meeting. So, yeah.
Right. So if no one else has any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump off the meeting.
Okay.
Thanks for coming this morning. I appreciate everybody. Feel free. You have my email in the link there. Reach out to me if you're interested in being part of that senior committee, or you just have any questions. I'm always available. Thank you guys a lot.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.